Okay, so well, that was fun. I haven't done that in years. I really never worked a whole lot on my own bowling balls. I never got trained properly to drill them. At least for the complicated stuff, I could drill somebody's spare ball. I could drill a kid's ball. I could drill that kind of thing without much trouble. I did get that basic education. We were here at the Oakwood Bowl. We were trying to figure out what was going to go on when a gentleman named Steve Muntz retired, because he was the one who drilled bowling balls. Now we had a local pro here, whether he's pro or with a card or not. He would drill the complicated stuff. I guess back in the day, you'll be leverage weight and all that stuff. Well, that since changed since the 80s and 90s. So the asymmetric balls, they're a little more difficult to lay out, at least for the layman. So he would do those for us. Well, anyways, we had the idea. It's like, well, let him teach us. He taught me the basics. He taught Sean the basics. And then Sean went out to somewhere in Dallas, I believe, and he got a certificate. And now he drills the bowling balls. So that's where we lay there. But anyways, I can work on my own stuff and play around with them. And now I don't generally drill anything. I just kind of play with surfaces and do whatever. So after that, the last video there, what is the result? What do these balls look like? Do they look pretty much out of the box? Not that I quite remember. I think they were a little more sanded than that. But then again, I'm just using it with a Brillo pad. So let's go take a look. There is the finished result. So she's pretty sanded. Now there are still some blemishes on that, but they're older bowling balls. So let's go throw them. Okay, so everybody knows that first ball with urethane, or pretty much anything newly drilled or newly sanded, does not count. But we're going to stand in our normal spot for the red hammer and throw a ball. That's why first ball does not count. That thing took off like a bat out of hell. Let's do it again. That's what it looks like. Did it actually flare? Who knows? Same spot. So it looks like we'll probably have to maybe make a 5-board jump. So let's do the same thing with a blue hammer and see what. Yeah, that was a bad shot anyway, but we'll try it again. That was a little bit more online, but it definitely did not go into the correct pocket. So let's see if we can make an adjustment for the red. Maybe move it 5. was closer. Maybe move that one a little bit right, and we'll do it again. So let's see. Next one will be the blue hammer, probably. Let's do 4 boards. That's a horrible shot. We'll try that one again. Blue hammer, 4 boards left. That was closer. Anyways, it's going to take some time to get some oil on these balls and little lane shine, so we'll throw some more shots. Ooh, doggies. Doesn't help when you throw it like crap. That's getting there. There we go. Any bets I chopped the 5? Well, that definitely is a weaker ball than the blue. Well, let's see if we do some. Kind of dropped that one, so let's practice a wash shot with a spare ball. Oh well, I'm still new at this with a spare ball. Usually I hook it in. Well, this will all take some work and some practice. There we go. Let's throw some shots with the repeat. I actually said that sarcastically, but we repeat. Sent that too far out, hit the dry quick. Let's see, practice the spare. What do you do? Beginning to like that. I think we'll do the spare and then switch back to the red. If anything, my spares might be on the side that I'm a little better on there. I say as I almost shanked that. Go back to red. Whoops. I'm playing around with that side too. I made an adjustment, maybe about 3 boards right, switch the mark about 5 boards right. Let's go back to red. 2 more frames left, we're all red. I think I'm releasing that one okay, so I may have to play with boards on that. Like a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. Let's see if we can take care of the 10 pin again. Got a little squirrely with that one. Oh. Alright, so what did we learn? Hopefully something. I think I've got, looks like red hammer is going to need a lot more work in practice to bump that 10 out. Blue seems to be pretty well suited so far. I believe this pair, yeah, there's no pins on 39, so we had a tournament last night. This was a breakdown pair. It did not get used, so it's as close to fresh as could be. So may have to play a little bit more. I know on that last 10 pin, I did make a board. Put a board right, or a board and a half. Kept the same target. May have to put a little bit more finger in it because I just wanted that. I just wanted the ball to do the work. Have I been doing that in the league? I have no clue. I have been so, let's say, lost in the league. I'll shoot 150, 150, 230. And it's like, can we start from game 3? Or something similar. But I usually pop a 220 or 230 out there. So the balls have it in them. It's the operator. So once the operator figures out what the heck to do, I think we'll be pretty darn okay. I know I've got plenty of balls at home. I've got, we've got the original EBI Black Hammer Urethane. We've got the Pink Widow that, I think there's a rubber release, which is actually pretty good. Only bad thing is they did use up a lot of the energy on the fronts. So corner pins were an issue. Definitely the Purple Pearl was far above any of those balls in consistency, carry, all that other stuff, as evidenced by all the people on the Pro Tour who threw that ball in darn near any situation. So, but anyways, they've got probably double the rev rate and double the speed as I do. I'm probably sitting at 280, 300 on a good day rev rate, and then haven't really measured it properly. I probably ought to get a professional to measure it to find out really what it is where I sit. But 13, 14 mile an hour. So we're nowhere near the actual tour pros. That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that any bowler anywhere, one, can be beaten on any day. Two, can have a great day. You just got to match up with your equipment, and you got to match up with everything out there. Anyways, I'm going to go pack it in. We're going to go home, sit on the couch for a little bit, play on the computer, and not sure when this film is coming out, video, but it'll probably be around the time where I've got some of these videos with the league going on with throwing the blue hammer, throwing the red hammer, and you'll see some of my struggles. Now, definitely operator error, but the operator's got to fix things, and my spare game has kind of gone away, so I got to work on that too. Anyways, stay safe out there, never lose your love for bowling, and see you next time.